Hey, what's happening, my friends? John Haley here. I want to talk to you today about something that has helped me tremendously in my life get away from scarcity, move away from lack. And in fact, this is one of the most important lessons that I've learned to literally combat the devil, our Satan, to actually fight him back at a level that is some seriously spiritual warfare stuff that can only come from the kingdom of God. And it's something that I believe a lot of us inherently know, meaning that we've read scriptures in the Bible that we don't fully understand, or we don't fully understand the capabilities and the importance in bringing God into every situation. And I'm going to, on this video, show you some very tactical ways that you can use in your spiritual tool belt. I've got a Batman back here in the corner, so Batman's got a tool belt back there. I'm talking about your spiritual armor, your spiritual tool belt that you can use to get away from the painful life that the devil is trying to, inflict upon you. He is the opponent. It is his job, literally his job, to try to stop us from becoming all that we can be. So what you got to imagine is the devil is prowling around like a lion, waiting to attack at any moment. And this isn't necessarily a physical attack. You rarely hear of anybody being physically attacked by the devil. I mean, there's people that are demon possessed. There are individuals who hitmen, things like that. Yes, I get that and I understand that. But day to day, most of the day, the devil is attacking your mind. And the devil is trying to get you to live in a place of fear, of scarcity, literally paralyzing you from being able to live out your life the way that God intended you to live it. And so that's what happens when we start walking in fear and the devil starts filling our minds. And you know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to get into this powerful weapon that you can use. And it's not what you expect. It's not what you're going to expect. And I honestly, I've never heard this talked about anywhere else. So this is the one thing that none of the gurus are going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you to be some crazy positive thinker. I'm not going to tell you to listen to, Tony Robbins, Bible, courses all day long just to combat the devil. Always have, gospel music playing in your ear. No, I've got something even more powerful than that. Way more powerful than anything physical that we can actually grab in this world is clinging to God spiritually. And I'm going to tell you guys how to do that here in just a moment. But the type of thoughts we're talking about here, guys, what is the type of thought? The thought comes to you, and all of a sudden you start to feel this deep scarcity and lack, this pain inside of you. Maybe you own a business, and the thought comes to you that, hey, the economy is getting bad out there. You're probably going to lose all your business. You're going to lose all of your customers. Nobody's going to like you. You're going to have to sell your house. Your kids and your wife's going to hate you. So all of these thoughts start coming into our minds. This is an attack from the devil, and it's to paralyze us so that it actually happens. That's the crazy thing. It's like it paralyzes us and stops us from fulfilling the will of God, which is to get out there. Yes, it is to work. Yes, it is to do things. Yes, it is to everything righteous. Everything that's righteous. The devil is trying to stop you from righteous living. So he fills our minds where he says, hey, your wife's going to cheat on you, or your boyfriend's going to leave you, or your girlfriend's going to, even attacks you at a family level. Oh, your kids are going to hate you, and this is what's going to happen. And, all of these kind of things come to you, and it fulfills. So the crazy thing is the fear will deliver fear. It's almost like Jesus said, Peter, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You live by fear, you're going to die by fear, because it's going to be the death. That is eating from the tree of death. And so one of the things that they talk about in the Bible, and I'm getting ready to give you guys a big one right here. I believe this is going to, if you guys can get this, sometimes I'm not sure if everybody's going to be able to understand these spiritual principles, because honestly, I'm going to tell you what God revealed to me, and it's really, at the end of the day, it's up for God to open your ears at this time. As Jesus would say, you've got ears to hear and eyes to see. You know, anybody who has ears to hear, you better listen up. So this is one of them deals where, Jesus, in the Bible, he talked all the time, like Jesus just clinged to the Lord. If you notice, Jesus was always with the Father. He didn't go anywhere that he wasn't sent by the Father. He didn't say anything that the Father didn't tell him to say. So what's happening here? And why did he just not fear running out of money or having a mob of a crowd that, only had just a few fish and some, very small amount of bread that to feed, that could turn into like an angry mob, at any time? Why did Jesus just not fear any of these things? And the secret key to all of this is clinging to the Lord. But here's how you got to do this, right? Because there's a point where you can get stuck in the birthing canal, and I want to explain that here in a minute. Now, you guys know this is biblical talk. They talk about getting stuck in the birthing canal, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that here in just a moment. But here's the thing. So if the devil comes to you and tells you, you're going to lose all your money, you're going to lose your house, everybody's going to hate you, all these bad things are going to happen, your wife's going to leave you, and all this, you've got to be able to process it down to the absolute worst scenario. And see, this is why this is so opposite from what any guru will tell you. You've literally got to go down to the worst case scenario and say, you know what? If I just walked out of here with the shoes on my feet and I have you, Lord, that is all that I need. You've got to come to a place in your heart where you can deliver these negative thoughts, allow them to run through you, clinging to the Lord. That is bringing the Lord into the battle. You see, it's the hierarchy in this physical world, these things that we have here, these illusions, because they're not coming with us into heaven. What's coming with us into heaven? Our spirit, our soul. The body's not even coming with us into the heaven. We get a new body. So what do? When the devil starts attacking you with the things of the world and telling you you're going to lose this is going to happen to you, this person's going to hate you, you're going to get fired, like all of these things, just accept the worst case scenario and say, you know what? If all of that happened, if everybody in the world hated me, everybody turned from me, I will have the Lord, and that is all that I need. Now, this sounds kind of crazy, I know, but this is clinging to the Lord, and when you can do this, the devil doesn't have a chance. He does not have a chance, because you just literally accepted the worst case scenario and said, all I need is the Lord. This is what Jesus has been telling you that you need to deliver the devil and start walking with the fruits of the Spirit, aka one of the most powerful fruits of the Spirit, joy. How can you have joy if your joy is being robbed by the devil by installing fears into you? When literally it's why it says your joy is in the Lord. Because if you put it in anything else, the devil will attack you there. You got to get to the source. Man, you've got to lay it. You got to get to the source. And you got to say that there's nothing and nobody in this world that can separate you from the Lord. And when you get to that point, guess what? My friends, you just learned how to beat the devil by clinging to the Lord. Do you think he's going to give you a reward for that? Do you think that he's going to put his hand on you for that? The reward's internal. And from my experience, it appears external, majorly. When you can cast the devil out and say, you know what? Sorry, I'm with God. Even if I die, straight up, I'm back to the Lord. I'm in a better place. All of that is okay with me. My friends, next time you're being plagued with worry, the world is just getting to you. There are people that allow the world to get to them at a level where they become so reactive, meaning this situation comes to them, oh, they react. This situation comes to them, oh, they react over here. This situation comes, oh, they got to react again. They live a life of reactive impulse, guided by the world. What does that mean? That means the world is taking them on a ride. You see, something comes at me, I'm looking to the Lord. I'm going to let the Lord take me. That is the big difference from walking in the physical and walking in the spirit. You've got to just cling to God. It is your best life. It is God's will for you. And it is your best life. Don't let the devil think you that you're giving in. Don't let the devil think that you're wishing bad upon you. It is not true. You are wishing all goodness upon you because now your strength is not in these worldly things. Your strength is not in the house that you're sitting in. Your strength is not in your relationships. Your strength can't even be in your family. Your strength has to be based with the Lord. And then that will flow to your family. That will flow to the world. That will flow to the things that you are doing. Because now you are standing on a firm foundation. I don't want my family to have their strength in me. It needs to be in the Lord. It needs to be in the Lord. All of ours needs to be in the Lord. And together, when we stand firm with the Lord's strength, we empower each other to do greater things than if we just sat around and allowed the devil to attack us with this illusion nonsense. Why do I call it illusion? Because it's not eternal. It's here for a while, and then it's gone. Heaven is eternal. Why do you think they said, focus on Jesus? Because the devil tries to attack you? No. Jesus. No, I'm sorry. Jesus. Oh, you say that I'm going to be homeless? I'm going to lose my job? No. Jesus. You see, most people get stuck in the birthing canal where they're just half in and half out. It's like, oh, I want to be delivered. I want to see the light at the end of the tunnel and be with the light. But I can't because I'm stuck here with these burdens and these things, feeling this pain and these contractions, when at the end of the day, we need to be focused on delivering ourselves to the Lord in every situation. I'm telling you, if you start walking in this, it will change your life. Cling to the Lord. You get a ton of money that comes in, cling to the Lord. Stay with Him. Tell the Lord, here's what I tell the Lord. I say, God, you give me so many blessings. You do so many incredible things for me. I love it, and I know that it's from you. I don't care whether it's money, love, provision, wherever that's all from you. It's all the same. It's all you. But I want to let you know, God, that if I didn't have any of it, none of it, I'm okay because I've got you. That's where you got to stay spiritually. And when you do that, you open yourself up to receiving and giving like never before. All right, my friends. Again, I appreciate you. This is a quick one today. This is actually a last-minute deal. 15 minutes. I was going to try to do 10, but anyhow, y'all, I just really hope that this impacts some of you guys out here and changes your life like it changed my life. So I appreciate you. As usual, I'm going to see you on the next one.